Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at a game called Checkman, and this was created by a company called Zilec-Zenitone, and also licensed to Jaleco in 1982. But it's actually kind of a cool game. I'd never heard of it or seen it in arcades until, never heard of it until recently when it was emulated on MAME. It's kind of an interesting little game. You're this guy that goes through this maze of tiles. You can only step on the tiles once a piece. After that, you might find your way back to the maze kind of difficult. In that case, you can rotate a row of tiles that you are standing on until you get to a tile that you haven't stepped on that you can use to get around to the other parts of the maze. And your main goal is to defuse bombs. The skulls on the maze are deadly to touch, but eventually, one by one, they will turn into these bombs that you can defuse by running over them. And they have a counter, and you can see it counting down. And if you do not defuse it by the time it turns to 0, you lose a life. Also, other ways you can lose a life is running over the skulls before they turn into the bombs. Or you can also lose a life by getting... Oh, sorry about that. I was not able to record normally in MAME, but... that's because this runs on Scramble hardware, Konami Scramble hardware. No, I think it was either the Scramble hardware or it was on Namco Galaxian hardware. That might have been it. At any rate, either one of those do not seem to want to work with MAME very well, and MAME will scrunch the screen down with those games. So I had to record this through another means called FRAPS, and it'll record any anything that you do through the MAME emulator, like pause it or whatever. See, now I'm moving the tiles around so I can get to that last bomb. Not all the skulls will turn into bombs. Maybe on the way later stages they will. But one by one, they will turn into bombs that you'll need to run over and defuse. And the bombs themselves are worth a lot of points. You can also collect flags along the way, and you get consecutive bonuses for the consecutive flags you pick up. Crap. Those shoes are really annoying. They cannot walk on empty spaces, and neither can you. But they're very annoying, and they wander around, and they're difficult to get a beat on their pattern. You don't really even have to always use the button to shift over the tiles. And once in a while, you'll get a cutscene of them showing you squish a pair of boots or shoes. Eventually, you'll squish them all. If you're good enough to get that far. But then I think that cutscene starts over. Ah, crap. This game is kind of interesting. Like I said, you have buttons to rotate the row of tiles that you're on. You won't need to use that all the time. In fact, much of the time you can just get by without it. Remember, you can warp over from one side to the other, top or bottom or left or right, on the tiles, as long as there's tiles to walk onto. And that's a pretty good strategy to employ, because the shoes cannot do that. They cannot warp over from left to right or up or down. And you can use it to more easily get to bombs. And as the levels progress, more than one bomb will be needed to defuse at once. You'll see 2 of them go off at once. Now I gotta use the that to move the to move the bomb over. And then there's another one that's already... Oh, crap. Go away, boots. Then there's one that's already up at the top. Ooh, will I get it in time? Oh, yes, I will. But yeah, the bombs are worth a lot less when you take a lot longer to defuse them. If you get them right away, they're worth the most amount of points, and that's when you can really start to roll up the points in this game, if you get them right away. Ah, crap. You get a little different tune on your last life when it's lost. It's kind of a cool game. I'll put in my initials. You press up to set your letter, not the tile shifting button. I think there were 2 buttons, one to shift to the left and one to shift to the right. But you really don't need to use them that often, as long as you're careful with not running over too many tiles and then not being able to get back to the rest of the maze. We'll play again here. But yeah, try to get those bombs early on. Don't worry about running over the flags too much. I wouldn't advise it. I mean, yeah, you can pick up some nice consecutive bonus points, but then the bonus for picking up the bombs will be less because you're preoccupied with running over all the flags. I would just go for the bombs as quickly as possible. Keep your eyes focused on the whole maze and look for any new bombs that are going to need to be defused. And then go right to them as quickly as you can. And just try to avoid the haphazard pattern of the shoes moving about. It's kind of, they're pretty tricky. And now I gotta shift over to catch those other bombs. Of course, you don't really lose a life there. That's just a cutscene. It's kind of an interesting little game. I wish there was a way to actually kill the shoes, or turn the tables on them like Pac-Man. But there really is no way. So that can make the game very challenging. Running into the skulls, you'd have to be really clumsy to do that. And you can do that while you're warping from one side to the other and not pay attention and then run into a skull. But just go right for the bombs. Don't worry too much about the flags. I've never seen this game, but it is kind of cool. Those those shoes are a pain in the ass, and it sucks that you have to start all the way over whenever you die. You have to defuse all the bombs anew, which sucks. Yeah, and again, since whoops. I should have just gone straight. I didn't want that shoe to get me, and it did. And I gotta start all over. That really sucks. That's one thing I don't like about this game, and really they should have found a way for you to get back at the shoes to get them away from you or something, but alas, no. Their herky-jerky pattern of movement is really annoying. Oops, crap. Later on there'll be this pair of shoes that will be able to walk over empty areas. Ah, god damn it. Well, that was my last life. But that was Checkman by Zilec-Zenitone in 1982 and licensed to Jaleco. It's kind of cool, actually, but it's really challenging if you leave a lot of empty space and have to find a way to get back across it. But yeah, I would advise just trying to go after the bombs and not worry about the flags. See, there's the score table for how quickly you collect the bombs. And don't be clumsy and run over skulls. Or slide them into you. Well, here's a look at the later cutscenes. Squish 3 boots fell to my death. And now here's what happens if you get all of them. But then they just repeat, I believe, after that, back from the first. But that was Checkman by Zilec-Zenitone in 1982 and licensed to Jaleco. This is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Checkman by Zilec-Zenitone in 1982 and licensed to Jaleco. I will catch you later with another video. See you then, folks. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.